19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to half past 8. We
It's
know
early in
we
the
bring the latest
morning,
news
but we are
and
feeling
analysis
just
to you.
fine. So,
Just
there
tune
in
in to
90 minutes gets us all in line. News, views, and entertainment galore.
To be a part
Tune
of the
in to
show,
Hands of
drop us
Hope
a
Radio
message or two. Just send a
100.5
text to
FM. It's
090
never a bore.
So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to half past 8. We know we bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's the thing to do. We cover the issues from all across the land. Our team of experts provides views oh so grand. From politics to sports and everything in between. You won't miss a thing when you listen to us. It's clear and keen.
So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to half past 8. We know we bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's the thing to do.
To be a part of the show, drop us a message or two. Just send a text to 090 001 005. We'll come through. Or leave a comment on our Facebook page. With Today in 19 Minutes, you will be the sage. So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to half past 8. We know we bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM.
The woman, the radio.
It's the thing to do.
You won't miss a thing when you listen to us. It's clear and keen.
So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to half past 8. We know we bring the latest news and analysis too. Just tune in to Hands Up.
It's early in the morning, but we are feeling just fine. So there in 90 minutes gets us all in line. News, views, and entertainment galore. Tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's never a bore.
So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to half past 8. We know we bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's the thing to do. We cover the issues from all across the land. Our team of experts provides views oh so grand. From politics to sports and everything in between. You won't miss a thing when you listen to us. It's clear and keen.
So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to half past 8. We know we bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5.
It's another edition of our daily current affairs program, Today 90 Minutes, where we bring you in-depth analysis and discussions and the latest happenings across the country. You can also get us live on our Facebook page, HandsofHope Radio 100.5 FM, the Umandem Radio, on our YouTube channel, HandsofHope Radio, and Instagram page at HandsofHope Radio. Well, I'm your host for today's episode, Erica Ruth Bangua. Our quote for today is from Abhijit, and it says, "Behind every man alive and kicking, there is a woman. Behind every woman abused and killed, there is a man." Well, in today's edition of the program Today 90 Minutes, National Investment Board Sierra Leone shares ongoing initiatives to enhance Sierra Leone's investment climate. And Action Aid Sierra Leone and partners launch EU-supported project to strengthen CSO's engagement in states. Well, listeners, in the program today, we have a very special guest with us in the studio today. Someone whose dedication to making a positive impact in the lives of the youth, orphans, and the underprivileged is truly commendable. And it's our privilege to welcome Hulda Emma Paul, who is the founder and executive director of Defend You, an organization that has been at the forefront of empowering communities in Sierra Leone. Hulda is not just a leader, she is a catalyst for change and advocate for justice and a driving force behind initiatives that uplift and defend the rights of those who need it the most. Well, today she's here to share his on the preparation of the upcoming 16 days of activism against gender-based violence in Sierra Leone. Well, good morning. Welcome to the program, Holder.
Good morning.
All right, you're welcome. Can to stay with us in the program. Well, these are more aligned up into this edition of the program today in 90 minutes. Can to stay with us for the next 1 hour, 20 minutes.
It's early in the morning, but we are feeling. It's early in the morning, but we are feeling just fine. Today in 90 minutes, get us all in line. News, views, and entertainment galore. Tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's never a bore.
So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to 8:30 we know. We bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's the thing to do. We cover the issues from all across the land. Our team of experts provides views oh so grand. From politics to sports and everything in between. You won't miss a thing when you listen to us. It's clear and keen.
So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to 8:30 we know. We bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's the thing to do.
To be a part of the show, drop us a message or two. Just send a text to 090 001 005.
On HandsofHope Radio 100.5 FM in Freetown. We are broadcasting live from our studios at 28 Battersea Street, Kingston. You can also get us live on our Facebook page, HandsofHope Radio 100.5 FM, the Umadam Radio, YouTube channel, HandsofHope Radio, and Instagram page at HandsofHope Radio. You can contribute to the program by sending your text message to the number 090001005 or 078162461. Well, before we come to our studio guests, let's first take a local and international news in English. Good day and welcome to Hands of Hope English News. I am Erica Ruth Bangura. Here are top stories for today. President Bio spearheads democratic progress, launches cross-party committee for electoral system review in Sierra Leone. And Ministry of Trade and Industry unveils strategic approach, strengthening public-private dialogue for economic growth in Sierra Leone. Now let's delve into the news in more detail. In a significant stride towards enhancing civic engagement, ActionAid Sierra Leone, in collaboration with advocates for social justice development, officially inaugurated a project titled Enhancing CSO's Participation in Governance and National Level Policy Process in Sierra Leone in Kono District. The project, generously supported by the European Union, aims to bolster the role of civil society organizations in shaping governance and policy at the national level. Before the launch in Kono District, 8 CSOs were competitively selected to vie for funding to implement the project. Following a meticulous review of proposal documents, 4 CSOs were chosen: Advocacy for Accountability for Social Service Delivery, Kono Women's Network, the Sierra Leone Union on Disability Issues, and Youth in Action for Development. Mohamed Fofana, the head of programs and policies at ActionAid Sierra Leone, highlighted the project objective to capacitate the selected CSOs in effectively participating in governance and national level policy processes. The launch events, the convergence of the Kono District Councils, CSOs, Chairman, Council of Paramount Chiefs, students, and the media demonstrated a collective commitment to fostering civic participation. Rebecca Yabasu, deputy chairperson for the Kono District Council, lauded the initiative, deeming it timely and essential. Recognizing the pivotal role of CSOs as mediators between the people and the government, she expressed the Council's readiness to support the project for its success. The ambassador encouraged CSOs to seize the opportunity presented by the project, emphasizing the importance of ownership and active engagement to ensure its effective implementation. The collaborative efforts of ActionAid Sierra Leone, Advocates for Social Justice and Development, and the European Union signal a promising step towards fostering community development and amplifying the voices of the people in Kono districts. In a recent Ministry of Information and Civic Education weekly press briefing on November 21st, Emmanuel Billy Konjo, Chief Director and Professional Head of the Ministry of Trade and Industry, shed light on the significant strides taken towards strengthening public-private dialogue, a pathway to improve investment climate in Sierra Leone. Conjo emphasized that the public-private dialogue serves as a crucial platform for fostering engagement between the government and the private sector, recognizing the pivotal role of the private sector as an engine for economic growth and development. He highlighted Sierra Leone's commitment to a fully liberalized economy since 1995, allowing market dynamics, demand, and supply to determine prices with the private sector as the key operator. The private sector, Conjo pointed out, comprises two broad categories: the corporate end, housing large businesses, and the micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, which faces distinct challenges operating at various market levels. The ministry and the government, he explained, are dedicated to ensuring the private sector has a meaningful voice in the policy space. Conjo concluded by underlining that the focus is not merely to dialogue, but on tangible outcomes. He stressed the importance of deliverables, specifically referring to position papers emerging from the dialogue. These position papers, he noted, are designed to effect policy shifts or changes, citing successful implementations in agriculture, energy, and various other sectors. In another news, in a historic move to fortify democratic principles in Sierra Leone, President Julius Maada Bio unveiled the Cross-Party Committee on the Review of Sierra Leone's electoral systems and electoral management bodies at the State House in Freetown on November 21st, 2023. President Bio, reaffirming his government's commitment to democratic values, emphasized the committee's pivotal role in conducting a comprehensive review of existing electoral frameworks. Initiative aims to address challenges within the current system with a focus on capacity issues. During the launch, President Bio expressed confidence in the committee's ability to propose reforms that will not only enhance but streamline the electoral processes in Sierra Leone. My government remains resolute in our quest to address the capacity challenges in our electoral architecture and is committed to implementing proposed reforms to strengthen Sierra Leone's electoral systems, stated President Bio, signaling a proactive stance in tackling issues and improving transparency. The Cross-Party Committee, designed for inclusivity, brings together representatives from various political parties. These collaborative efforts aligns with the President's vision of fostering unity and cooperation for the betterment of Sierra Leone's democratic landscape. You are still listening to Hands of Hope English News live on Hands of Hope Radio, 100.5 FM in Freetown. Now for the latest international news.
In a recent BBC report, Sudanese rights activist Ala Al-Karib has exposed a harrowing trend, asserting that sexual violence against women has evolved into a deliberate tactic in the country's civil war that commenced in April. Alarming statistics reveal that 70% of documented cases involve gang rape, and the deliberate targeting of women and girls sadly become a commonplace reality. According to Al-Karib, both the Sudanese army and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces (RSF) has been implicated in attacks against women. However, she emphasized that the paramilitaries seem to be using sexual violence as a strategic tool to intimidate communities. This distressing revelation comes amidst a conference in Nairobi, Kenya, shedding light on the profound impact of the war in Sudan, particularly on women. In another recent BBC report, South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has welcomed the agreement between Israel and Hamas for a 4-day pause in the ongoing conflict. The ceasefire, set to commence within 24 hours, involves significant reciprocal gestures. Hamas will release 50 hostages seized last month, and Israel will reciprocate by releasing around 150 Palestinian prisoners. President Ramaphosa, expressing South Africa's commitment to peace and justice globally, lauded the agreement and expressed hope that this pause will strengthen broader efforts to achieve a lasting end to the conflict. South Africa's government, led by the African National Congress ANC, a long-standing ally of the Palestinians, has taken a proactive stance by requesting International Criminal Court (ICC) to issue an arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin by mid-December over alleged war crimes in Gaza. Tensions between Israel and Hamas have escalated since a cross-border attack by Hamas on October 7th, prompting a major Israeli military operation. The Gaza conflict has claimed a significant toll, with at least 1,200 people killed and more than 200 taken hostage. South Africa's stance reflects broader international concerns about the humanitarian impact of the conflict as the world watches the developments in the region with a collective hope for lasting peace. To end the news, a recap of the main stories. President Bill spearheads democratic progress, launches cross-party committee for electoral system review in Sierra Leone, and Ministry of Trade and Industry unveils strategic approach strengthening public-private dialogue for economic growth in Sierra Leone. Thanks for listening to Hands of Hope English News. I have been your presenter, Erika Ruth Bangura.
Right, welcome back. And don't forget, this is the program today, 90 minutes live on Hands of Hope Radio, 100.5 FM in Freetown. We'll continue the program, and like I informed you earlier, that we have with us in the studio the founder and executive director for Defend You with us in the studio. The U stands for Youth, Orphan, and Underprivileged, who is not a person but Elder Emma Paul, and she's here to share his insight on the crucial topic igniting change in preparation of the upcoming 16 days of activism against gender-based violence in Sierra Leone. Good morning, welcome to the program once again. All right, so for someone listening to you and hearing about Defend You for the very first time, we want to know what's the organization all about, what's your main role and responsibility, what has the organization been doing?
Okay, so I'd say Defend You, as the name goes, the acronym for the U means Youth Orphans and Underprivileged.
Okay.
And we're out there to provide shelter, clothing, and feeding for the kids. Most especially, our paramount aim is for them to all be educated. So that's to say, I have a home where I take care of kids. I've got 7 girls and one boy, a boy. So Defend You has a home, provide shelter for these kids. And then I feed them, clothe them, put them to school. Because I always tell them that if I teach them of education, I've cheated them for life. So in as much as I'll give them everything they need, if I don't send them to school, which is for me, it's a paramount priority for Defend You, that means I've cheated them a lot. But I'm excited about Defend You because it has been a passion that has been there ever since. And for me to be honest, to see my dream come to reality is a big thing for me. We started in 2021. It has not been an easy journey, but I'm grateful, I'm happy where I see Defend You today, 2023.
All right. So do you have a age bracket in terms of the ones that you do host that you keep at home?
Yes, for now I do have age brackets. So I have from age 5 to 16 at the moment. Reason being is because of the capacity and my own ability of how I'll be able to, care for them and take care of them. So for now, these are the age limits I'm dealing with for now. I might consider if need be and if, huge support comes.
All right. So when we talk about the youth, how do you go about engaging this set of category of people that you work with?
Okay, so like I said, I have age bracket from 16. So most of the time, the ones that are now teenagers, for me, I classify them as youth. So I always love to have this one-on-one conversation with them because in as much as they are growing, we term them as youth, but they're still kids for me. They're still kids. So I always have to be there to counsel them. That is one, and make sure that they're open enough to converse with me, communicate with me. For me, I love communication a lot. It helps, number one, for you to know something when you communicate with somebody. Is for you to know something and be aware of certain things. So, and a lot of them are coming from this background of molestation. A lot of them are coming from a background of hatred, maltreatment. And me bringing them to Defend You, I want them to, have this mindset that they too can live a comfortable life. They too have people that care for them. They too can live in a home setting where at the end of the day, they go out to society, they get, point a finger at that kid and say, oh, I love this kid and the way he's being brought up and also in terms of young people, there's a lot that Defend You does.
Okay.
Apart from the fact that we have a home, we also do one-on-one engagement with especially young girls that are really, really facing challenges out there. Because a lot of time a lot of people, DM me on my Facebook, oh, I'm going through these. Sometimes you might not have the finance to help, but the way you kind of counsel the person, talk to the person, that love, that hug, it goes a very long way in changing their mind. And to be honest, I've got like 3 success stories, one in McKinney and 2 in Freetown. And the 2 are in university right now, which I'm grateful for, because if I look back at that time, the state and condition in which they were, and they had already given up on life, given up on hope. But when Defend You stepped in, and right now, I would say they're happy, doing good for themselves, and yeah, they're always grateful.
All right, so let's come to the 16 days of activism is just around the corner. And look at the work that you do working with young people, orphan, and also underprivileged. First of all, provide us for someone listening. I've been hearing about 16 days of activism. What is this all about? Give us an overview of the purpose and also history of 16 days of activism against sexual based violence against women and girls and all.
Okay, for me, I'll just say the 16 days of activism is a time where we kind of consider these people that have gone through some kind of form of violence, you understand, for them to feel belonged. It's a time also for us to, voice out, for us to speak against violence, because looking at the fact that this thing has been there for ages and it's still going on. Although it has been minimized, for me, if you open up my heart, I would want it to be eradicated, which is very, very difficult, I know. But with these 16 days of activism that we do every year, talk about it, I would say it's a form of celebration because to some point, we can boldly say at least it has been reduced in some certain areas. But yet still some people are still facing it. So this 16 days of activism generally is just for us to continue to speak about it, continue to let these people know that there are people that care. Do not discriminate them because of what they're going through. Every young person, or every, not even put not only girls, even boys, are prone to be molested. So at any time it can happen.
Okay.
You understand? So we just have to be out there as advocates to make sure that we continue to speak about it, we continue to give knowledge about it. And so for me, I would say if we're looking at the 16 days of activism, I would encourage us as NGOs to target the schools. You understand? The schools, why the schools is because we still have these young ones growing up. So at this particular point, if we're able to instill inside of them that rape is bad, molestation is evil, just to tell them about the effect of what these things really cause or the effect of what molestation does to what rape does. I feel like as a young boy or young girl growing up, it will continue to ring in their ears until they are mature. Most people going into these things, maybe they never heard about it, maybe they're just doing it because they feel like, or maybe because of peer pressure and all. But I feel like these 16 days of activism is an important one, and it's just for us to voice out and let the people out there that have, been through a lot know that there are people that are there that's standing for them.
Oh, you made mention of organizations coming together doing this and this. So, how pressing is it for collaborative efforts in terms of raising awareness with regards to sexual based violence?
For me, collaboration is good. Collaboration means working together. It means coming together. And if you're a man and you work alone, definitely you can go some miles. But if you work together, you can go far. To be honest with you,
Okay.
because different organizations, different ideas, different aims and objectives come together, march together to work together, it's going to be a bomb, to be honest with you. Imagine you owning or having an organization and you want to do a program and then you feel like I can do it alone. To be honest with you, you do it alone, but the pressure, you will definitely feel it financially, socially, physically, you will definitely feel the pressure. But I feel like if you as an organization I come together, that one comes. Like for example, Rainbow Initiative. I think 2 years or 1 year ago, I kind of worked together, not to defend you, but individually.
Okay.
I attended their match that they normally do during the 16 days of activities. It was good. It was awesome because we had different other organizations that were there. We had radio stations, we had TV stations that were there, to cover the program because we all need each other. That is why it's called collaboration, which I feel is a very, 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 very important one.
All right. So when we talk about violence against women, girls, including boys, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
One thing that normally comes to my, like even me, I was mentioning sexual based violence. Yes, sexual violence against women and girls. One thing that comes quickly to the mind of people when we talk about violence. So, what are some of these forms of violence that happen against women and girls, inclusive boys?
Okay, so for me, the big one that is like I'd say the umbrella is rape.
Okay.
Rape is one, and even beating is another form of violence. People don't know beating is another form of violence, and even verbally, you can molest somebody verbally. You can violate somebody verbally. You feel like okay, it's okay, but it is not. There are words you say. It goes deep down. It pierces the heart of somebody and lives with the person for a very long time. even like let me say most especially as women, there are things somebody tells you and it goes deep down. Um, this ends up to diminish you. It ends up to bring down, your self-esteem. And at the end of it, a lot of women are living with low self-esteem. They cannot mingle in society just because of what maybe somebody told them. And they are not strong enough to think positive about themselves. So you see how verbal abuse can go to damage somebody's life. Rape is another one. Rape is the common one, you understand? It's really common, which I'm praying and hoping that this thing is being eradicated because rape has different levels. To be honest with you, it has different levels. Once you've raped somebody, you have left that particular individual with a mindset of hatredness. Because there are some ladies that they don't even want a man to touch them anymore because of what they've been through. There are young girls that will just sit down and be afraid. Even if they're within people, in the midst of people, they'll just be scared. You just see some kids go to the corner and they're hiding themselves. It's either they don't want people to know what they've been through. One, because they're scared of being discriminated. Definitely Africa, the society where we find ourselves, once they know it's a stigma on you. Once they know that, oh, you've been through or you're going through this particular thing, it's a norm for them. They stigmatize you, which I feel has really, really, really caused more harm, to these individuals that are going through whatever sort of violence that they're going through. We have guys that beat ladies. Why? Why is the question. If this particular individual has done something wrong, we have places where you can go and report. We have individuals that you can call. You have big people in society. Why not report? And most of this has led to a lot of people's death, lots of young people's death. I know it's more of the women and the girls own that surfaces, but we also have young boys. We also have men that are that are going through this form of violence. We have them. So we have boys that are being raped.
But,
They-
but we don't see such cases coming up. Why is it that?
It's like maybe the person will be thinking, if I come out and say it, people will not believe me. That is one. Because it's very rare for you to hear that, oh, the boy is being raped, but the fact is, it's happening, and we should not shy away from it. We have to talk about it, because to some point they feel like it has just been the ladies' violence against women and girls, violence against women and girls, all of the boys. You understand? So I feel like these different forms of violence, rape, the beating, molestation verbally has really caused more harm. It has really caused.
So what are some of the causes for violence against women and girls, including boys? Because someone listening to you in those days, even when you're advocating for girls, or say, when I got picking, look at it, they make this. So what are some of the causes leading to all of these acts?
If you if you look into it deeply, for me, I feel like you have lots of people, or maybe let me say, Sierra Leone has gone through the civil war.
Yeah.
And I would say this is one big reason why I feel like this thing happened. Because at that time the country is, everyone is scattered, different individuals. We are all living on this earth with different intentions, different motives. You understand? For me, I don't want to say this is the real cause or that's the real cause. I'll just put it and say it's something that I would say I don't want to say bound to happen, but it's part of society and we're now living with it. It's just part of our society and we're living with it. The only thing that we as NGOs or we as individuals are doing is for us to limit it or eradicate it totally, which I feel has become a very, 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 very big problem. Okay, let's think of the fact of that. I've heard about, some babies being raped.
Yeah.
Babies being raped. So, what's the explanation to rape that baby? Most times you ask the perpetrator, he has nothing to say. He just be standing and looking at you. He has nothing to say. What prompted you to tamper with that little baby. Okay, for maybe big people, teenagers, adults, some people will say, oh, now because the pikin the way it is, now because of the side way you go, what of that lady that was dressed up properly? You understand?
Yeah.
So for me, there is no excuse, or nobody should give excuse for rape or for even laying your hands on a woman, or even as a woman. We have women that beat guys. Let's not say there's no excuse. Yeah, there's no excuse for you as a woman to lay your hands on. To be honest, here we have to be plain. It's vice versa. This point they said since we are fighting for 50-50, we also have to bring out these things and let people kind of understand. But the bottom line is we just have to pray and hope and continue talking about it. Let our voice go out. Let it be big. Let's not just be under there, which for me I'm excited about, because we have lots and lots and lots of NGOs out there,
Okay.
talking about this thing, being like celebrating it, you know. Okay, like now this is November, it's going to run through I think to December. So definitely you see programs, programs upon programs from different NGOs. And then definitely I'm sure one day we'll just hear it has been eradicated.
We pray and hope so. So, there are social norms and also stereotypes.
Yeah.
How does these things, social norms and also stereotype, contribute to the perpetration of violence?
Hmm. You know, especially in, I want to put it, especially in the province, or even let me say all over. When something happens, we've seen cases of uncle abusing the niece.
Mm.
You understand? And then because of this is our family, we can't report. We can't allow your uncle to go to prison. And then at the end of the day, everything just dies down. So for
We even
me,
hear of father raping
yes, a
his own
father
kid.
raped a child is there. Why are you being selfish? For me, selfishness. It's selfishness to the core, because you are thinking of this particular person not going to prison, and then you are forgetting the fact that the person, that the victim, has a life to live. The victim has a society to live in. You're forgetting the fact that this particular victim had dreams. You're forgetting that this particular victim wished a good life for herself or for himself. And then at the end of the day, rape comes in, molestation comes in, and everything is being quenched down. Do you feel, or do you think that person will still be able to live in society? These are questions we have to ask ourselves. These things are going on. The perpetrator has done what he has to do, so he has to face the penalty. You don't have to walk around, going freely, walking on the streets as if nothing happened. No. You need to feel the pinch. Since you made this victim feel the pinch and know what it means to take something away forcefully or force yourself on this particular person. Do you know what that means? If people that have really gone through it know the pain, the scar. You leave that person with a life scar. You leave that person with a wound that cannot heal. It takes God's grace and time for that wound to heal, but it will never heal. Most of the victims will just put their mind, not getting married again. I don't want to have kids. I don't even want, any guy to come close to me, and they live their life alone. Which for me, it has so much disadvantages, to be honest. It has so much disadvantages, because like you just being alone, you push yourself from society. Just being alone, there are a lot of things that go into your mind, and that is where the mindset of suicide comes. Most of them will just sit and, I want to kill myself. I just want to go. I want to leave this world. Do you understand? And then what hurts them the more is knowing fully well that this is the perpetrator and he's out there working
Working
freely.
freely.
And I'm here suffering just because of what? Na me family, na me uncle, na me papa, or na me cousin, or na me brother. No. Up till today, my heart is still beating for Khadija. Up till today, there's this little girl, I don't know if you remember that
Yes,
of
I remember
Khadija.
Khadija.
Till now, my heart is bleeding for Khadija. Because I could vividly remember the time it happened. You understand? So,
So, what do you think should be our responsibilities? How can communities, individuals contribute in ensuring that we're able to achieve our aim, if not even eradicate it,
yeah,
but
it's
let it be
nice.
drastically be reduced in the country?
So first of all, society has a great role to play. Stakeholders have a great role to play. Parents have a great role to play, and even guidance in the community society. First of all, you don't see a young girl growing up, and then you constantly see this particular guy. Oh, this is my wife. This na my wife. That's how it starts.
Yeah.
Na my wife. This or na me. Who made you? Are you for him? Don't tell me that. And he don't even bring that to me. For me, we grew up in a my mom and dad were three girls. So like oh my god. Even for you to shake a guy's hand at that time, you'll be panicking, like because our parents in those days they tell you if a guy touch you, you get pregnant, this, that. So you grew up in that kind of strict manner, even if some guys want to do that, you say, hey, too strict. You understand? I will not say gone out of days. Now we're in a society where technology, has exposed a lot of things. One, young kids have access to phones, internet, and most of the time they feel it's okay. But if you don't have the right person to tell you or the right parent to tell you that this is not okay, it is not okay for a guy to call you his wife when he's not married to you at a particular age, because there's time for everything. It is not okay for a guy just to see you and tap you on the butt. It is not okay for a guy to touch you on sensitive areas. You understand? Constantly tell that child, constantly tell that child. To be honest with you, if something happens, that child will run and go and tell you. And also, the other thing that I feel like society should embrace, especially parents, especially mothers, do not push your girl child outside. We have lots of parents, lots of mothers doing that. I have witnessed 2 or 3 cases wherein the mother will be the one to push the child out.
As
As in, now you uncle, now you man. You understand that kind of thing. Now you uncle, now you man. So just go out there, maybe because they are giving money, or maybe this person has always been there. So go give your uncle food, go give this person food. You're pushing this child out. You are pushing this child out.
So aside the parents, what about the communities? Because there is a saying that says it takes a whole village to rear a child, and but in nowadays society, you will see someone say, "What's my business? Say man will cost me," and some parents will be like, "Are you born out for me?"
Thank you. It's something funny. When I came back to Sierra Leone, because I lived in the Gambia for almost 15 years. Coming back to Sierra Leone, you're coming back with that kind of enthusiasm, that kind of. And then I came, and most times, before it was not wrong. My mom used to tell me that before it wasn't wrong for her to correct another person's child on the street.
Yeah.
But now when you do it, it becomes a very huge problem, which I think is a very, 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 very bad thing at this particular point, because right now the society we live in is worse than their own times. So for me, I don't see anything wrong with me correcting a child on the streets, even if not only born up. You understand? But I get right. Once I'm an adult, once I know this is wrong, and I have the bona fide right to correct that child on the street. But nowadays, you hear parents like, don't not touch me, pikin. If you this, straight to police station.
It was even cause people like if a particular case is being compromised, like man, not put me more in a family issue.
It's about, for me, this is a very bad thing, and we have to really look into it. I'm just appealing to parents out there, to everybody out there, that one man business for be all man business, especially when it comes to picking business, especially when it comes to youth, especially when it comes to children. It has to be our business, not because not to be modern, But if I know, say, if I correct this speaking here, it get for, create a positive impact on your life, then let me do the correction. Because some parents too, so careless to the point that they don't even check up on their kids. You find out that a kid will come back from school, mommy, good afternoon, daddy, good afternoon, and that's it, inside their room with their phones. Where in my own time, when you come back from school, it's a policy. When you greet your parents, you bring out your books and show them what you did today. Where it's wrong, they help you correct it. If they feel like you need a study teacher, they provide it for you. I know there's some people still, towing that line, but there are a lot of people that have deviated out of it.
Okay.
They just don't. They just feel like, okay, I've sent her to school. I'm giving her food. I've given her all she needs: internet, phone. I feel like that's it. No, there is more to parenting. There is more to parenting.
Okay, Olga, continue to stay with us in the studio. And don't forget, you're listening to the program today, 90 Minutes, live on HandsofHope Radio 100.5 FM in Freetown. We're going to take one of our headline stories. In a candid revelation during the Ministry of Information and Civic Education weekly press briefing on Tuesday, November 21st, Deputy Executive Director Fatima Mara Sandi of National Investments Board provided insights into the steadfast effort of the NIB, National Investments Board, in nurturing Sierra Leone's investment landscape. Speaking on the pivotal topic, strengthening public-private dialogue, a pathway to improve investment climate, Sunday illuminated the audience on the proactive role undertaken by NIB. Established by an Act of Parliament in 2023, NIB continues to be at the forefront of creating an enabling business environment for investors. Let's delve into the comprehensive account of NIB's ongoing endeavors and their pivotal role in fortifying the collaboration between the public and private sectors.
The National Investment Board for begin with. My institution was formed by the Act of Parliament in 2022. And we go pretty much to ensure that we create an enabling business environment for investors. What do we mean by that? I think before we assure we got points out and registered businesses before, we have to deal with CSC, we have to deal with administration, and sometimes we have to deal with sleep or even PPPs. What's in the Act now, numbering all the agencies in under one umbrella, and that umbrella of the NIB, with the goal for creating one-stop shop to ease up the bureaucratic processes for both businesses and investors. One step the government will take towards for cleaning out the business climate environment in the country. But it goes beyond that. NIB will not just promote for facilitate. We also have a responsibility for making sure existing businesses that will get in the country. We actually retain them. Well, how do you retain those businesses? It's by providing connected care services. We really have, I say, what if you the launch massively want to how they go further than the kind messages. And so if an investor like a salon, for example, a very likely semi company investor they talk to, not to the kind of government, because the kind of government, the possibility for governments making biased information go there. So they go talk to the company businesses. So therefore, I think that is very important. And aftercare will not just there for listening to complaints and what have you, also want for really what it also governments could do for encourage you for expand your business, because at the end of the day it's really about economic growth. And this the governments understand the role of the business sector in ensuring that we have sustainable economic growth. And for that reason, NIB also play a role as a diplomat between the government and the private sector. We do it to serve both parties. And through that, we also got what we call a PPD. And we're told that right now it's a form of a PPD. Why? Because government is engaging with the private sector, then the media houses. And through this conversation, I think we're able to understand the different challenges and what's possibly the plans or policies that government should create or come up with to ensure that we get an enabling and thriving business environment. And with the PPT, not just a one-time thing, it's an ongoing conversation. And not to say that we don't have sit down out to go, we don't get this conversation at the end of it, So mostly we get a dedicated PPT officer at the NIB. We're responsible for collate all the reports and then advise management on how to prioritize outcomes when we lead to policy formation. So we also get that within the NIB. And the NIB in mandate actually that for organized structured PPDs across the country, across all sectors. And this is very important because government see the need to before private sector involvement and when they discuss or when they engage on issues, it was slightly fragmented. So for ensure say we get all the information and we really for serve the private sector fully and to also properly advise government. Now, PPPs are institutionalized as me brother from chasing. What do I mean? It means that when there's structured PPDs where we'll at different levels and it's foreign investors, right? But we also have very key players when it contributes to domestic direct investments in the country. We engage them at all levels. We engage the SMEs, we engage folks from the financial sector, the agri sector, etc. etc. And one of the slight challenge or one person will face with PPD and the fact that the commitment, you don't forget strong commitment from both the private sector and government. And that commitment is slightly a bit of a challenge because trust issues as well. I feel safe, you're not sitting there in the room, you don't discuss your issues, you don't have conversations, and then there's no follow-up to it, and that's not common because you say you waste your time. So at time like being through the advocate, we also get the responsibility for ensuring we follow up on this. And through this mechanism, we work with friends from Invest Salon, who are now creating a very vital tool, the tracker. The tracker is more or less an accountability tool for both us from NIB and the private sectors and the various MDs that we'll have to deal with. So out of these PPDs, whatever come up, we then create that tracker system to also make sure say, okay, out of this PPD, we're supposed to do this, have we done that? And we keep step on the toes to the tracker system. And this again just shows that at NIB we really focus on collaboration and we're very deliberate about making sure that we work with everybody in the room, including the private sector, and how we can move things forward. So long and short, that's the role of NIB in ensuring that we have structural communities around it.
Okay, well, don't forget you're listening to the program today, 90 minutes live on HandsofHope Radio 100.5 FM in Freetown, and that was the Deputy Executive Director for the National Investment Board, no other person but Fatima Mawar Sandi. And to continue the program, don't forget you can contribute by sending your text messages to the number 090001005, 090001005, or 078162461. 078162461. And we still have in the studios the founder and executive director for Defend You organization, and we're here talking ahead of the 16 days of activism that is just around the corner. So over to you, Holder. So someone listening to you may want to ask, let's quickly look at what's, because you mentioned earlier that you some of the young people you work with or the people that you work with come from background that they have been for 8 years and all of those stuff. So how has your work been like with regards to any initiatives, any work around working against gender violence?
Okay.
Okay, so first of all, I have a home, like I mentioned before. Defend You has a home, and in this home, I would say I had one case of what happened. She was coming all the way from the province, and then when she came, I kind of study all my kids. I try to understand them. So I found out that she was always, to herself. She cannot freely mingle with the other kids. Sometimes she will leave the kids in the room and she will be at the back of the house and you make her sitting like this. So I kept on wondering, like, why is this particular kid always like this? So, but, ongoing and ongoing, I had to, talk to her. And then she told me, she'd never had somebody that had encouraged her in life before, or even spoken to her the way I did. So, because when dealing with those kind of cases, you have to be number one careful. You have to assure them that whatever they're telling you, is confidential. It stays with you. So these were all her fears. But at the end of the day, I'm proud to say she was able to open up, and I got to understand that she was being molested. You understand where she came from? And then the first thing I did was for me to take her to the hospital. They had to run some tests and then, they just had to put her on medication. And today, I'll proudly say she couldn't go to a regular school, but she is now attending a vocational school where she's learning, different types of skills. And I'm excited about it because it's a success story for me. It's a success story for her. It's a success story for every society and Defend You because if this is just to tell you that we can do this. If we can do it for one kid, definitely we can do it for other kids. Yes. And the other ones that are not in the home, which they're attending universities, a lot of them come to me and tell me, oh, this is what I've been through. You understand? This is what I've been through, this is what I'm going through. And then I have to take out time. There are times I had to travel to Makeni, one like almost all the time, just to make sure that that particular, lady was stable and strong enough to face, life and face society. So today, I'd say I'm sitting as a proud mom of many kids because each and every day that I wake up in the morning and I see text message, hey, good morning, mom, how you doing? And I'm able to converse with them. We're able to have that chit chat. They're able to smile. They're able to laugh about things now. I'm super excited. I'm very, very happy.
All right, so you're working with young people.
Yeah.
So, what should be the role of young people in this particular campaign, and how do you think organizations, the government should engage these young people? Because when we talk about violence,
Mm.
they are involved.
Yeah.
So, how do you think they can contribute to this campaign, and how organizations, government should engage these young people for them to contribute meaningfully to this?
Definitely, we will not stop talking about it. It's advocacy. Advocacy is one, and also just for us, for the message to go out there. If you're a young person and you know that you have a voice, like we have a voice now.
Mm.
If you have few people in your community that cannot stand up and speak for themselves, please be the voice. Be their voice. Be their voice. Not everybody has the boldness. Not everybody, can do whatever NGOs are doing or individuals are doing, to stand up, to speak up, to kind of, point fingers at the perpetrator and say, you did this, you're going to be prosecuted for it. You understand? Not everybody can do that. But if you're a young person and you know that this thing is really in your heart, you have the passion to do it, if you know that you really want to see, Sierra Leone in another level in the next 2 to 5 years, if we really want to see violence, being minimized to the core, minimized to the core, and I mean, let it be on a level of maybe, 0 or maybe 1 5%. Let us take it to that level because as young people, whatever we put our mind to do, to be honest with you, if we say we're just going to do it all diligence, we'll definitely see success. And to the NGOs, to government, let's continue doing what we're doing because I wouldn't sit here and say, oh, no, nobody's doing anything. We're all trying our best, but let us continue. Let's keep pushing. Let the law still be there. And then let us not, deviate from the focus that we have about this violence. The 16 days of activism is one, but after the 16 days of activism, what next? we have to continue talking about it. We still have to go to the radio stations. We still have to go to the television stations. Because sometimes I found out that sometimes just until an incident happened, then you hear them talking about it again. Until something happened.
And after some time, it just dies out
Sometimes
like
it
that.
dies down. So this is my problem. Let us not just wait until something happens. Let us prevent it from happening. Prevention is better than cure. Let us not just wait until another child dies. Let's not wait until another young person is being molested. Let's not wait until other women are facing different forms of violence in their matrimonial homes. Then we start taking action. A lot of people will have, or a lot of young women have committed suicide because of violence, and they cannot speak. They can't come out and openly say, "My man, they beat me," or "This is what my husband is doing to me." So definitely they sit down, figure it in their mind, and then they take their life, and then leaving poor kids behind. So to be honest, these are people we have to engage. We need to have engagement with these people. Try to loosen up their mindset, try to make them smile, do activities to just let them go out there, relax their minds. Sometimes tell them, just take a walk at the beach, free your mind, and then I feel like Sierra Leone would be a better place, or let me even say Africa would be a better place.
All right. So what tangible actions do you think our listeners out there can take in order to contribute? Because many a times when you go to these people to talk to them, you don't know anybody's so tired now. So what are some of the tangible actions do you think they can take these 16 days of activism in order to be able to contribute to eradicate or minimize gender-based violence?
Okay, so listeners out there, I'm sure a lot of people have phones, at least they have access to the internet. You can go live on Facebook. Take one day at a time. Maybe you can't do it straight for all the 16 days of activism, but at least, you know, be on your Facebook, say something about it, and let the voice go. If you don't want to come live, you can type, text a message, put it out there, post it on your social media handles. If you cannot do that, if you have somebody that can create a flyer for you, just in support of the 16 days of activism, you can put your own quotes. You understand? Create the flyer and share it to different people. It will go a very long way. And then another thing, or where I feel like we as individuals can help, or every listener out there can help, is when something happens, if it happens in your community, in your society, and you find out that they are trying to cover it, hide it, the least you can help or the least you can do is for you, even if you want to be covered, let them not know it's you that went to report, but let the reports be known to either the police or maybe whichever body is responsible. But a rape case cannot happen right under your nose, and you sit and say, "Oh, I'm a young person," and you do nothing about it. That means you're also part of it. So when something happens, try as much as possible, do your efforts. Just make, for me, my mommy keep tell me, say, "Oh, that the kind boldness where you get." There are times I see something happen on the street and I correct it right there. Right there and then. I correct it. Whether you take it, that's your own business. But once I have done my own part, and my own conscience is free. You understand? So if all of us live that kind of way, if all of us have that kind of mindset, if everybody watching me out there has that kind of mindset, or everybody listening to me has that kind of mindset, then we live in a better society. But you don't see a child of 4, 5 years, and then you see this 30-something years old man and say, "Oh, me wife," and then you close your mouth. Me right there and then I rebuke you. I'll rebuke you. An incident happened when I was traveling to the province this Saturday, and then the taxi that I used to go to the province stopped by to kind of take some kids to where we were going. And I just saw this young. I even doubt if the boy is even at the age of 14. I think there's 12, 13 years. And the girl was about to enter the car, and he came and then he pecked her. When I just opened the door and I was like, "You dare that again? I'll make sure I discipline you before I leave this place." And
You'll
mom
be
was like,
shocked.
"Yes." He was like, "This lady." Yes. You don't do that. And then I talked to the girl and I told her, you start encouraging them, you will end up in a very, 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 you know, disturbed situation because it starts from there. And then later they start to hide. And then from there, before you know Labele, and then you sit down, you know go school again. But down in the province, some of them don't have this education.
Yeah.
It's because of what they've seen their own big people do, so they want to follow suit. But if most of them have the awareness, if most of them have the understanding, to be honest with you, the society will be a better place to live.
All right, going to stay with us in the program. We'll go for a short break and we have some text messages in the program. We'll now relax and go for a short break. When we come back, we'll read out some of the text messages that you've sent in the program. Let's now relax and go for a short break. Don't move away from your radio set or the different social media handles. We'll be right back.
Show. Join us every weekday from 7 to 8:30. We know we bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio, 100.5 FM. It's the thing to do. We cover the issues from all across the land. Our team of experts provides views oh so grand, from politics to sports and everything in between. You won't miss a thing when you listen to us. It's clear and keen.
So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to 8:30. We know we bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio, 100.5 FM. It's the thing to do.
To be a part of the show, drop us a message or two. Just send a text to 090 001 005. Will come through, or leave a comment on our Facebook page. With Today in 19 Minutes, you will be the sage. Today in 19 Minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to 8:30. We know we bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio, 100.5 FM.
The woman, the radio.
It's the thing to do.
The world is changing, and so are we. Young people everywhere want liberty. Join us every Saturday for an hour of glee on the Youth Advocate.
The Youth Advocates, bringing fun and education. Every Saturday at 4, tune in to our station. We discuss youth issues and possible solutions. The Youth Advocate is the perfect resolution. Our program is informative but not boring.
You're just tuning in, you're listening to the program Today 90 Minutes live on Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM, and we are broadcasting live from our studios at 28 Battle Street, Kingdom in Freetown. Well, let's quickly go through some of the text messages in the program. And this first text says, I am Khadija from Kingdom. Hello, Olda and Erika. I'm inspired by Defend You's work. Olda, can you share a specific success story that highlights the impact of your organization's efforts in combating gender-based violence? Okay, and this other person here says, great discussions. I'm curious about the challenges faced by young people in Sierra Leone regarding gender-based violence. How can youth actively engage in addressing these challenges during the 16 days of activism? This is from Abdul at New England. Another person here says, hi, thanks for tackling such an important topic. What actionable steps do you recommend for individuals who want to be a part of this change during the 16 days of activism? Okay, another person here says, your dedication is admirable. I am wondering about the role of storytelling in combating gender-based violence. Can you elaborate on how personal narratives can contribute to breaking the silence and fostering understanding? And this person here say, Mina Anakagbo from New Glanville. Thank you very much for these great discussions, and we hope say we community people go adhere and put them into practice. Because if we not speak up, such kind activity will continue to be inside we community then. And I'll just take two more. If we have more time, then I'll read more text messages. And this other person here says, you emphasize the importance of community support for survivors. Can you share specific examples of how communities in Sierra Leone can rally together to create safe spaces for those affected by gender based violence? And let me just go through and this other person here says, what role do you see media playing in raising awareness and shaping public perception about gender-based violence? So can we stop here for now?
All right, so let's take it from the top. The first person that said she likes what we're doing,
Yes.
and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. What's her name?
Khadija.
Khadija, thank you, Khadija. So, like I said previously, I don't know if you were listening. I said previously that I have a case of gender-based violence in my home, wherein the girl was coming from the province, and then she came, from the province with this case. And by God's grace, we were able to combat it. The first step I was able to take was to interview her. And when I interviewed her, we had a one-on-one conversation, and she was now relaxed to open up, to tell me what happened, how her uncle, was maltreating her, pushed her out of the house, and this, led her to being molested or out there just because she wanted food to eat. So later had to take her to the hospital, make sure she did, some tests, and then make sure that her health was okay to live in the home. Because when these things happen, we have to consider the victim's health and make sure the person is strong enough. So I feel like that is one success story. Let me say the success story of it all is that the individual is now in a vocational school. She's even now the most outspoken kid I have in my home. Yes, and she's happy. She's just happy to be there. She's happy. So I'd say that's like one success story for Defend You.
Another person says, how can youth actively engage in addressing challenges?
I just I think I
Yes.
made mention of something like that, and I said we need to use our phones, the social media. You're on Instagram, you're on Twitter, you're on LinkedIn, you're on Facebook. What are you doing there? Just to post, go to party, go for this? No, we can use this media wisely. From now on to the December, if you take each day and say something about it, you have contributed as a young person. Come live on Facebook, do your posting, take your own quotes or take quotes from people and just make sure that you kind of reference those people that you took their quotes. And then at the end of the day, create flyers. If you are in your community and you feel like this is really a burden to you, bring other young people together that you feel like have the same, vision, has the same passion as you. You can go from doorstep to doorstep, have this, they call them the megaphones or that small megaphone. Talk about it. This is the 16 days of activism, and we're here to talk about this violence against women, violence against this, talk about rape. You're in your own little corner, you have done something.
Someone asked about how the role of storytelling can break the silence, contribute to breaking silence.
Storytelling is a very nice thing. For me, I told people that I love being in front of camera. And so anything about storytelling, I love it. Why storytelling is really good in terms of the 16 days of activism is because you get to kind of hear directly from the victim if some of them might want to tell their story. And they say experience is the best teacher.
Yeah.
So once somebody has been through it, you've gone through it, you are able to express more. That's why you see some stories they tell you it's a life story of my life. And when he came up with storytelling, I'd say it's a very good thing.
Mm.
It might not you might not take the individual per se, but you can even put it in form of this animation. You understand? Tell a story about how a girl was raped, what happened at the end of the day. There. We attend events, we attend programs, and you see people acting about these things. You see the emotions. People even do it through points, and you see the way they express themselves. Yeah, so I feel like it's a good one. We can definitely work towards that.
And you also made mention of the already the
Yeah.
role of the media,
Media,
and
exactly.
you've already made mention of something like that.
Yeah.
And someone asks, says, you emphasize the importance of community support to survivors. To give example of how communities in Sierra Leone can rally together to create safe spaces for those affected
Like
by
I said,
gender-based
we
violence.
just have to come together. Community, individuals, if you guys know that you have this passion, first of all, meet with your head, maybe your stakeholder, and tell them, pitch it to them. This is what you want to do. Give us access. First of all, start it with your community if you cannot go. From your community, you can take it to maybe your next door community. But you guys have to start somewhere. You have to let there be a starting point. Go from house to house, talk about it, the little experience or the little knowledge the little knowledge you have about it. Just speak to an individual about it. And maybe you'll be surprised to see that a lot of them in their communities are facing these things, but they can't speak. But maybe because you have come out and they see their fellow young people talking about it, then they'll be able to speak up.
Okay. Because of time, I think we'll wrap up the program.
Yeah.
This quick one, this person here says, could you share more about the mission of Defend You and how it aligns with the goals of the 16 Days of Activism campaign? This is from Aisata Mose at Kington.
Okay, so Defend You has a mission, to just take away vulnerability and then make sure that young people have a safe space, especially young girls. We're not pushing away the boys. Like I said, I have 7 girls and a boy in my home. So we're not pushing them away. We just want to create a safe space where whenever you hear Defend You, you know that, okay, I feel like I can have a solution to my problem, even if we cannot help you financially. But we can help you by counseling you. We can direct you to institutions that can support. We can advise you. We can just, make you feel like, okay, there is hope. I don't need to give up on life.
Okay.
So we have if you want to know more, we're on Facebook
Okay.
on Defend You. We have a page there. Or you can even hit me up on my Facebook page, Holding Up On.
All right, so as we conclude our discussions, what are your hopes and aspirations for the impact that the 16 Days of Activism campaign will have in Sierra Leone as we conclude?
As we conclude, I just hope that these 16 days of activism will change a lot of mindsets, especially the perpetrators, especially young boys, even young girls coming up. I just hope that this particular, I'll call it an event, will be able to give that morale again, that boost to the victims. Will be able to change their mindset. I hope that this particular activity will be able to help these victims belong again to society and have hope in themselves. Those that have low self-esteem, I hope that this particular event will bring back their self-esteem.
All right, thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
taking your time to talk to us in the program. Well, that's all in today's edition of the program today in 90 minutes, live on HandsofHope Radio 100.5 FM in Freetown. And we hope you found the discussion very informative and helpful. If you missed this edition, if you missed this morning program, listen to the repeat broadcast at 5 p.m. I want to say many thanks to the executive producer, Madam Mama Kaifuna, and to our social media operator, Emric Lai Bangura. And to you for taking your time to listening to the program, for didn't read out your text messages. We please want to apologize. Want to say many thanks to our studio guests, the founder and executive director for the Thank You, Alder Paul Emma Paul.
Yes.
We want to say many thanks to you. And if you want to know more about the program, reach us on 0900010005 or 078162461. Till tomorrow for another edition, I've been your presenter, Erica Ruth Bangua. Stay connected and stay informed.
It's early in the morning, but we are feeling just fine. Today in 90 minutes, get us all in line. News, views, and entertainment galore. Tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's never a bore.
So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to 8:30 we know. We bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's the thing to do. We cover the issues from all across the land. Our team of experts provides views oh so grand. From politics to sports and everything in between. You won't miss a thing when you listen to us. It's clear and keen.
So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to 8:30 we know. We bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's the thing to do.
To be a part of the show, drop us a message or two. Just send a text to 090-001-005. Will come through, or leave a comment on our Facebook page. With Today in 19 minutes, you will be the sage. So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to 8:30 we know. We bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM.